Bill's pining is shifting into overdrive. Kat is getting hella judgmental. And Dani doesn't give Andre the confession he deserves. What's good, y'all? This is Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Beyond the Gates video. And in this one, I'm breaking down season 2, episode number 17. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss the moment I post a new Beyond the Gates video, giving you this dope content and conversation. And to start this off, y'all, we're going to go ahead and talk about Chelsea. Chelsea and Madison, Madison and Chelsea. Honestly, I have no notes for Madison. Madison has been gracious. She's created space. She is communicating her feelings while also attempting and leading with the intentions of not being judgmental. I understand how Chelsea can take it as a judgment, but I do believe that she is not actually being judgmental. She's being observant and she's being honest and she's being communicative. But Chelsea is too immature to actually register what's happening. Right now, we're watching the dissolution of a partnership that seemingly was great, seemingly was equally yoked, seemingly had all this potential. However, this is what happens when you meet a non-negotiable. And this is why your non-negotiables are just that, non-negotiable. And I give Madison so much kudos and a little bit of praise in her standing strong. Like, I do believe that she deeply loves Chelsea. I do believe that she has enjoyed this relationship. I do believe that she has gotten something from this relationship thus far, but drug use is a non-negotiable for her. And I'm proud of her standing on that. I'm proud of her not compromising. Too often in our society, we normalize compromising on your integrity, compromising with your non-negotiables, compromising with your boundaries, all in the sake of loving somebody. And Madison goes ahead and makes the point to Chelsea of like, that is what you're communicating right now is not actually love, is fear. And she does it in response to Chelsea basically proposing to her, talking about she wants to spend the rest of her life with her and she wants to have a family and do all of this and do all of that. But she's doing that right now because she's grasping at straws and she's, yes, trying to honestly communicate her feelings, but she's also low-key love bombing her and trying not to lose her. So she's throwing whatever she possibly can in the hyper emotional space versus truly taking a step back and assessing the problem at hand. The problem isn't that you don't love her, Chelsea. And the problem isn't that Madison doesn't love you. The problem is that you are holding on to coping mechanisms that you use to assert your autonomy, to exert your independence, to rebel, as from your own words, to rebel against a life that was handed over to you. While it was a good life, you struggle with it in reference to finding your identity in it. You're now using those coping mechanisms when you're no longer in the circumstances to which you need to cope from. And yes, you were abducted. Yes, your mom has the BRCA gene. Yes, your grandmother has cancer. But these are not you don't apply the same coping mechanisms to different circumstances. So while yes, you feel out of control, and while yes, you want to feel free, to your point of like, this is the stuff that Chelsea was communicating to Madison, but the coping mechanisms of taking drugs and going and partying, that was a different coping mechanism when you didn't have time for yourself, when your life wasn't your own, your schedule wasn't your own, and that was the way that you found freedom there. To me, the thing that Chelsea should have been thinking about versus trying to propose and say, well, I want to be with you and we need to accept each other's differences. No, we don't have to accept everything about the people that we love, especially if what they're asking us to accept is something that's harmful to their being. The thing that Chelsea should have been thinking about is, how can I cultivate new coping mechanisms for the stress that comes from this family drama, from the stress that comes from this family trauma, from the stress that comes from this medical trauma? Because that is completely different than you being a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl who was thrown into this career that you're not fully sure that you want, but you're going along with it because you like the attention and you like feeling beautiful and you like the praise, you like the access, you like whatever it is that you liked about modeling. It also had its drawbacks, and you develop those toxic coping mechanisms for that. That is a completely different thing that you're now trying to cope from than what you're experiencing now. And while Madison doesn't go as far as to say exactly that, which is how I know that she's not actually being judgmental of her, she's just communicating her feelings. She's honestly listening to your position, giving you space to communicate your position. And in your position, Chelsea, you communicated that you are not going to stop doing drugs, you're not going to stop partying, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. and all the while, as y'all have been progressing, she hasn't seen it simply because you were holding that part of you back and you believe that this is a part of you, which also draws teeters on the line of like, well, girl, is this a coping mechanism or is this a part of you that you're trying to ascribe to your being? I would hope that you're not trying to attach the identifier of drug user, druggie, as a person that you are versus a thing that you do in a moment to feel free, because you're teetering in that line in reference to how you described it. And she listens to all of that. She's trying not to judge you for all that. She is accepting you of that. And she knows herself to be an integrous woman. She knows herself to want to be in healthy partnership and non-toxic partnership. And that looks like her not engaging with and maintaining a relationship with a person who needs these specific coping mechanisms to get through any discomfort in life. And that's just, it just is what it is. Medicine goes as far as to say, maybe we're not right for each other. Maybe this is not going to work out. And I don't actually want you to change this, which is, to me, the most least judgmental thing about this whole conversation is that medicine heard you out, and the breaking up is not actually being positioned as a punishment from medicine. It's literally being her decision or her way of solving the problem of protecting who each other is. So you get to be who you want to be and I get to be who I want to be. We just can't be these versions of ourselves together because they won't actually work out. And again, it was a very mature conversation on Madison's part, to which Chelsea is flailing and emotionally like lashing out, all because she doesn't like the idea of losing Madison. She wants her cake and she wants to eat it too. But Chelsea, baby, you got to grow up. You really just got to grow up. I made a note of like a lot of the dialogue that happened in this episode because I thought it was a really, really well written episode. But Chelsea says, I miss disappearing into the music and the lights. I miss the feeling of being free. And the part that Chelsea is missing, even in her declaration of this, is like, okay, the goal is that you want to feel free. And 2 years ago, a year ago, your way of feeling free was to do these things because these things were happening in your life. What does feeling free look like now? Because the part that she's missing is that she's not accounting for her whole entire life has changed. You have never even been in a consistent relationship like the one that you have with Madison right now, a healthy relationship that you have with Madison right now. Is there any feelings of being free there that you can lean on, that you can lean into? Like, that's the part that is kind of bothering me about this whole thing, but it just speaks to Chelsea's immaturity of like, girl, you could literally explore what freedom looks like. Madison would not be wanting to leave you if you were coming to this problem with, okay, you're uncomfortable with the drug use. I'm not fully committed to the drug use, but I do want to feel free. And y'all both figure out how you explore different ways of feeling free. But no, you made a staunch point of like, well, girl, I'm not gonna stop popping pills because this is the only thing that makes me feel free. And medicine's like, well, there could be plenty of other things that make you feel free, but if this is what you're going to choose, I'm not going to stop you. Let me go ahead and tip on out. And now you mad at her about it. Anyway, it's immaturity versus maturity, and I want better for Madison at this point. Madison deserves better, and I love that she is modeling walking away, like, and truly understanding what real love is, because we throw that title around, we throw that word around with everything, with any type of real emotion that might not be hate. Sometimes we say love, and it's like, no, that is not actually what love is. This is actually fear. This is actually manipulation. This is actually control. A lot of times people like to call a thing love when it's so many other things, and it's a lot of unhealthy things. And child, Dani and Bill and Dani, we pick up exactly where we left off, and we get the whole Bill and his proclamation that Dani put this dress on to get a reaction out of him because she is still very much so in him. And it's, sir, you're projecting. You're projecting. I'm so glad I did not read my girl the riot act in the last episode, because Vanessa comes in and gets him together in the most nasty read. Lets him know exactly what it is and what it ain't. He's the most narcissistic, pompous, ego man. Like, she didn't say all those words, but she said enough. Like, my girl is not here dressed up to kick it with you. We are having a girls' night out, and she looks good. This is what she does. Dani talking about something. Well, I didn't even know he was gonna be here still. Girl, I don't know if I believe you, but your cover looks great, and your backup is amazing. So absolutely, Bill winds up getting his ass embarrassed because again, Vanessa reads him for filth as she should. She comes in just in time while he's trying to confront Dani about wearing this damn dress, but the tea on that is she's to Bill's face. She's had her girl's back. And in the moment that he left, she said, girl, was you trying to make him jealous? Was you trying to get a reaction to him? What the hell is going on? Was he right? I said, absolutely. I'm here for the white women being honest with their friends and showing up in their friendships and making sure their friend is accountable to their best interest. Absolutely. Last episode, it was Ashley. This episode is Vanessa. Let me find out. I'm about to stop hating you women. Let me find out y'all ain't as simple as you seem. I enjoyed that little tidbit, y'all. But Dani girl, my issue comes with Dani at the very end of the episode when she tells Andre, I got a confession, because Andre comes back. We're gonna talk about Andre because Andre gets ran down on by Haley, child, because Haley just can't stop running to Andre crying about how Dani wants her husband. Dani wants her husband. Your husband wants Dani, but that's neither here nor there. She tells Andre that she wants to make a confession, and the confession is that she missed him more than she should. No, the confession should be, I kissed Bill, but it will never happen again. The confession should be, me and Bill was going down memory lane. I had tried to say thank you because of the way that he showed up, and I was out of sorts. I'm at my wit's end, and I made a mistake, but I promise you it will never happen again. Heavy on it will never happen again, Dani. But you did not tell him, so now we actually have beef, Miss Girl. Now I can't rock with you. Now y'all start to lose points as the best couple in Fairmont Crest, because the best quality about y'all is not how amazing that y'all look, because y'all are both two very attractive people. Cool. It's not y'all sexual chemistry. It's not anything. The top thing about your relationship is y'all's honesty. The moment you start lying to one another is the moment that you lose the best quality of y'all's damn relationship. Nobody else in Fairmont Crest is navigating a relationship where they could be 100% honest with one another about how they feel, no matter how uncomfortable, disappointed, whatever feelings are elicited. Y'all have been the sole individuals who have been able to be so honest with one another as y'all been navigating this relationship. And to me, it is the best quality that we have seen play out in any of these relationships, romantic and or platonic. You have been able to 100% be yourselves with one another and find love while doing it. And now all of a sudden, this version of you want to hide. Because I know it's going to hurt his feelings. I know it's not going to be pretty. And yes, it's going to be consequences maybe, because he has a right to be mad about it. But you owe this to him because y'all are supposed to have the most honest relationship. How the hell y'all going to have an honest relationship when your ass is lying, Dani? Y'all, she finna piss me off so bad. Because Andre don't deserve this. Andre is doing everything that he possibly can do. He is down there at the damn smoothie shop refuting Haley, who won't leave his ass alone. He told Haley, you need to go worry about your husband. Like, focus on your husband, because you're mad that you don't have the relationship that I have with Dani, and I can't do nothing about that. Talk to Jesus and your husband. I said, absolutely. Andre, tell her like it is, like and what it ain't. She wants to sow these seeds of division. She wants to sow these seeds of insecurity so damn bad. And not to say that there are no strings to pull there, but to her face, he stands 10 toes down of like, we don't have the same relationship. And I'm very clear on that. And we will never be partners in crime, no matter how much you want us to be partners at crimes and or brothers in arms. Girl, we are not the same. My wife loves me. Bill don't love you. You do not understand my life. I say absolutely, Andre. But only for him to get home and be wearing his little silky TLC robe. That's not shady, because you look good. Y'all both look good. Dani and Andre look so good. And for her to look you in your face and just get to talking about, baby, I miss you. Baby, I miss you and I messed up. Baby, I miss you and I'm navigating complicated feelings around my ex. Baby, I miss you. And I want whatever. I don't know. Like, ugh. Dani's gonna drive me up a damn wall. And low key, she's gonna put Andre in a place to be hurt deeper than he's ever been hurt before, because this man has never even opened up and been in a relationship like this before. This is the most vulnerable, the most committed, the most honest that he has ever been in navigating romantic love. and building a new version of family and finding safety in that. And your ass is running around here playing with bobblehead ass diabolical Bill. Dani, you my girl, but I'm going to be putting belt to ass with you as I can see for the foreseeable future when it comes to these episodes, because you're tripping, girl. You're tripping. And while we talking about people that's tripping, Kat, you tripping too, girl. Step up. Not my faves. Not my fave set tripping. But what I will say, when it comes to Kat is doing what she knows. And that is also something I don't believe that enough people are giving her credit for, or at least grace for. Kat is the woman her mother and father raised her to be. So while they all shocked and sometimes disappointed by her reactions, she is going off of the information that y'all asses provided for her. So while Kat is now seeing Nicole walk into Uptown in this tight ass dress that she ain't never seen, Kat said, I have never seen my mama embrace her sexy side. That's an important piece of dialogue, y'all. That tells us a lot. While Kat is looking at you embrace your sexy side, navigate dating multiple men, and she's uncomfortable with it. Yes, it is judgment. Yes, Tomas, you happen to be right in this episode and I still don't like your ass, but she was definitely projecting, but she's doing so from the baseline of what her family taught her. Y'all have pushed this monogamy down her damn throat. She is also a virgin. Well, now she's no longer a virgin. Tomas wound up taking her virginity, but she offered up her virginity to a man who was not even fully invested in her, all because she ultimately felt like she was getting to an age that she wanted to, and she deeply wanted to be in love, so she accepted who was right there in front of her. Nicole, you have never been able to explore, and this is a new season in your life, and you're saying so, and you're navigating that beautifully, and I love that for you, but your daughter is not going to be able to handle it, not going to be able to process it, because you didn't ever tell her that this version of the world damn existed. So now she's navigating you post-divorce when your husband cheats on you, has another baby, praise that baby in her place because they of the same age now. They project twins. And y'all want to be mad at how Kat responds, and y'all want to look at Kat like she's the bad guy, because apparently Nicole and Kat are about to be beefing, y'all. That I remember that from the synopsis breakdowns that I did for these episodes. And I know I'm behind, but I'm literally watching it and then recording it, so I don't know what happens in the next episode. But Kat, when she confronts her mom about this, she's going to be going off of rhetoric that you told her. This is how you reared her. So y'all can only be but so damn mad. You raise another repressive perfectionist because you are a repressive perfectionist. So I'm not even really that mad at her looking at her mama and side-eyeing her mama. Kat goes as far as to say, this new version of mom is a stress response. Maybe, but it also might be her freeing herself from the shackles of all the expectations and all the projections that this family has put on her, and she's finally figuring out who she is for herself. And then she's going to commit to that once she figures out what she likes and what she doesn't like. Nicole goes as far as to say, when she's in a conversation with Kyle, I'm finding out who Nicole Dupree is when she's not trying to be perfect. The dialogue this episode was top tier, because hello. So while you're trying to figure out who Nicole Dupree is, while you're not trying to be perfect, your daughter is watching you and still expecting you to be perfect, because you taught her that is what you're supposed to do, and that is how you succeed. That is how you be a great woman. And you are not having conversations in the meantime, in between time, about your pivot, about your shifts, about your needs. And if I go back to the last episode, when Dani told you, don't let anyone's idea of what's appropriate block you from what you need, and that includes you, that also includes your daughter. But your daughter don't know to not become a roadblock, to not become a judgmental force, to not become your op, because she's still operating from a mentality that you embedded in her. Yes, Kat's my girl. She was being judgmental, but I also am thinking about, how she was raised and what she was given, and with the tools that she was given, I'm not surprised of what she's doing. Just to be honest with y'all. And to Tomas's point, yes, she's projecting. And I love that she has the self-awareness to be like, well, maybe I'm also going through that as well. Okay, can we dive a little bit deeper into that? Can we stop worrying about what your mama got on and who your mama sitting over here having drinks with and focus in on that? If your mama's having a stress response and acting out of character, and now you have admitted that you are having a stress response and acting out of character, what exactly of your responses is the part that's out of character? What is the parts that you're okay with? What are the parts that you're not okay with? And can we divorce the ones that you're not okay with and double down with the ones that you are? Can we now shift our focus back on re-solidifying who we are, re-establishing our own identity, creating a validation system for our damn selves? That's how you take this hurt and turn it into healing. But y'all, we ain't there yet. But again, this from the dialogue, these are the things that popped up for me. This is not even a breakdown at this point. This is just me saying what came up as these people were saying these things. I felt like this episode was low-key profound in how it has established a baseline for us to go in various directions for some of these specific conversations around what these characters are navigating. And I'm here for it. Y'all know I'm here for Nicole and her let's figure it out. Let's figure out who I am. Let's explore phase. I love that she spoke to, she's trying to figure out who she is when she's not trying to be perfect, because this is something that is what the doctor ordered. Honestly, I've been saying that she's needed this from the very beginning. I love how Kyle spoke to her eldest daughter syndrome and how she's a prototypical one. They're having a conversation. He's like, oh, well, she asked him like, oh, are you wondering about the plastic surgery? And he immediately goes to her husband. She's like, no, I'm talking about Carlton, because Carlton was very much so worried about Kyle, and Kyle's giving, I'm not worried about him. And Nicole is just enjoying the ride. I fear she is just here for it and taking it all in. And I want her to remain as open as possible. I don't see nothing wrong with what she's doing. She looks great. I love that she's exploring. I love that we're getting to see her explore, because even women of a certain age deserve to find themselves if they haven't known themselves truly, wholly. Actually, whenever they wake up is whenever it's the right time. It's never too late to find yourself. It's never too late to figure it out. It's never too late to decide who the hell you want to be, especially if you want to be somebody different. And then Vanessa is bigging up herself at the end of the episode because Lance gets a stern talking to from his wife after Vanessa confronts his wife, and she does unbeknownst to her, Joey has already confronted Lance, and she thinks that the wife gets Lance to run up out of the country club, but it was actually Joey, and Joey's keeping this from her because she asked Joey not to step in. While you were doing a great thing down there with Bill and Dani, you just lean right into your white womanhood. I swear, your wayward white womanhood, Vanessa, when it comes to this man, because she's like, oh, I'm so proud of myself, I did this thing. Meanwhile, she ain't do a damn thing. Lance did not stop laying hands on you or can't not look you in the face because of what you said to his wife that he don't even respect. He down there excited because Joey invites him to a private gambling session when he's gambling away the house, the trust fund, and the this and the that, but then he's worried about his wife sleeping with escorts. You ain't even focused at home, Lance. You down at the Orphe Jeans laying hands on Vanessa so much so that Joey got to roll up on you and check you in this episode, punch you in the gut, and let you know never put your hands on her again. But you worried about Vanessa hooking your damn wife up with some escorts? You need to stay focused. He barely even acknowledged his wife. When she walked over while he was at the bar at the country club, she gets to talking, and then he immediately runs out. He barely acknowledged her. No, hey, babe, no, nothing. Lance, your marriage is in shambles. You need to focus on the right things. And Vanessa, you're not as powerful as you believe yourself to be, boo. But go ahead and keep thinking you are, because it looks like Joey is fine with you believing the lie. So y'all go ahead and keep the lie alive. I'm gonna go back to Chelsea and Madison real quick, because Chelsea's dialogue, she said, I'm hoping we can learn to accept each other. And Madison later on in that conversation says, for you, concern feels like judgment. For me, freedom feels like carelessness. And I was just like, damn, this dialogue is so good. It's so spot on. It's so honest. And I feel like this sums up exactly why, in this season of their life, at this space and time, who they are, they actually can't be together, because they're speaking two totally different languages. Yes, I know that they're speaking English, but when you think about what Chelsea thinks the problem is versus how Madison has articulated the problem, they're not saying the same things, which is why they're never going to be able to understand one another and come to a common ground that works for each other without them having to compromise who they believe themselves to be. I love how this episode did a great job of like having the conversation of the internal struggle of who people believe themselves to be versus who they're projecting to be. I know that this is just a soap, y'all, but they're doing some really, really, really dope character work with what we're getting in each episode. And again, the standout for me in this one is definitely the dialogue. Kudos to them. Shout out to Madison. My favorite line of the whole episode is, "That's not love, it's fear." And is. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode in the comment section down below. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with, and I'll see you in the next one.